Good morning and welcome back to my channel. It's Wednesday the 18th of December. It's about 9:10 in the morning and yeah, another good week on plan, as in I have really enjoyed my food. I went to group yesterday and it was the Christmas taster. Some fabulous food that people had prepared. People really do have good imaginations when it comes to Slimming World food. It doesn't need to be just dull and boring. One lady had made an incredible tiramisu, which was very low in sins, and another lady had made a beautiful trifle. Now, I'm not a person with a sweet tooth, but I can respect the fact that these are the things you could serve to friends and they wouldn't even realise it was Slimming World. So, a sweet lady in group who I really like, called Romy, knitted everybody a little bobble hat and put a chocolate inside it. Well, our little bubble hat fits our baby mole. One of the things I collect is moles. I love moles, little furry moles and stiff moles and jellycat moles and things like that. We have this, is this Jellycat? Is she Jellycat? I can't remember. Yeah, I think she is. And so I took the little bobble hat, Romy if you're watching, took the little bobble hat off the chocolate and put it on our latest baby mole. This is baby B, who comes complete in a little mole nest.
Oh, that was zooming a little.
I think I'm as mad as a hatter, but I love things like this.
Lift her up a bit.
Lift her up a bit?
Yeah.
Can you see her?
Yeah, there you go.
In her little hat. She's a bit dark, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a Christmas mole for us, with a little bobble hat on. I'm sitting next to another one of my amethyst creations. God creates them, not me. This is called an amethyst bed, and all of these big chunks, which are really tactile if you can't see like me, but all of these big chunks and all the surrounding polished stuff, this is all amethyst, which, I don't know, I just love it. The properties of amethyst are really calming and really positive, so that's why I think I'm attracted to amethyst. As a blind person, it's not something you're going to be attracted to by colour or anything, but I am attracted to the feel of gemstones and just lovely. Anyway, where am I at this week? So I went to group yesterday. We had a Christmas fuddle, as we call it in Nottingham. Fabulous food and party games. And before I went, I must admit I was really apprehensive, because I'm not a great one for different foods, and especially at 9:30 in the morning. But you don't have to partake if you don't want to, and you're not a misery if you choose not to. Everybody's different. Be yourself. That's what I keep telling myself. Jane, just be yourself. The thing I was apprehensive about more than anything was party games, because I think, oh my God, what if you have to get up and run around and do this and do that? And I don't want to be a killjoy. So yeah, I made myself stay to group, even though the bigger part of me wanted to run. I stayed to group, and there was two really good party games, and Romy actually did the running for me, which was good. And I won a Slimming World trolley token, which is great for us because we are always short of £1 when we go shopping. That's the problem with paying for everything with your debit card. You've never got change in your purse, have you? So that was sweet. And I also won a candle, which I gave to the lady who was sitting next to me, because I thought I can't take 2 of the 4 prizes. That's just a bit too greedy. But it was a good meeting, and I lost £0.5, which is what I kept saying to Joe all week, didn't I, Joe? I want to lose £0.5 this week. I wanted to round up my numbers to a loss of £33. So we've had a good week. Well, I've had a good week of food. We've done quite a bit of walking this week because it's so much easier for us to walk into the city if we want to go shopping or anything like that than it is to stand around and wait for buses or trams and then get on a bus or tram where nearly everybody's got a bad cough. I really don't want to try and run the risk of catching the flu again this year. I had it last Christmas and I'd be happy if I never got that again. I don't think I've ever been quite so poorly in my life. And one of us ended up in hospital, but I'm not going to say which one it was. We're not going there again this year. So lots of walking instead of catching public transport, where we can. I mean, you can't always, but where we can. So what I want to talk about this week, what have I been focusing on this week? Because this channel is about me. I don't want to come on here telling you what you must do. I want to tell you what I am doing. So this week I'm focusing on, do I want FOMO, F-O-M-A, or do I choose JOMO? Why are you laughing?
You said F-O-M-A.
Did I?
FOMO.
Alright, let's start again. I'm not cutting that out, I'll leave it in. Do I want FOMO, F-O-M-O, or do I want JOMO, J-O-M-O? I'm choosing JOMO. Now, for anybody who doesn't know what JOMO is, FOMO is the fear of missing out, and I don't like the word fear. JOMO is the joy of missing out. And I'm focusing really at the moment in my journey on the joy of missing out, which might sound a bit weird, but I'm looking at it like this. Fear of missing out means gaining resentments, which means beating myself up if I succumb to whatever I have a fear of this. I'm not explaining this very well. Fear of missing out is when you look at what's available and you think, I can't have that, I can't have that, I can't have that. Oh God, what will happen to me if I don't eat Christmas cake? What will happen to me if I don't have chocolate? What will happen to me if I don't have a selection box? What will happen to me? Because over the years I've done all those things. I've always given in, or generally given in, and then taken what I call the stupid route, because I had a fear of missing out. What about if everybody else has celebrations, chocolate and heroes, and I'm not having it? Oh, that fear of missing out, it's so powerful. But I was listening to an article on a podcast last week, and she kept talking about JOMO. And what the hell's JOMO? JOMO is the joy of missing out. So for me, JOMO is going to be not choosing to have the selection boxes, not choosing to have the celebrations and heroes, and the result will be joy, because I don't want them. I really don't want them. It's not a hardship to say no. But what's difficult is when you're at somebody else's house, like I'm going to my mum's this weekend, and everybody's saying to you, oh, go on, just have one won't hurt you. And then, oh, don't be silly, you can have, here, take this, have a big glass of Baileys, which is one of the things I do like. But when I look at the sins on Baileys, and I see that 50 mils, which is not a lot, well, it's not a lot for me, 50 mils of Baileys is 8 sins. And I would normally have a huge tumbler, and I wouldn't put ice in it because I don't like watering it down. That tumbler of Baileys could be somewhere between 40 and 50 cents. And believe me, I wouldn't want to stop at one, because it's that sort of thing you just keep, have a sip, have a sip, have a swallow. And before you know it, somebody's topping up your tumbler. And by the end of the afternoon, as will be in my case on Saturday, by the end of the afternoon, I wouldn't know how much I'd had. I wouldn't care. And once I've had that much, then I'd be saying to my brother on the way back, because it's a 50-mile plus drive home, oh, let's call it so-and-so, let's call it Costa, let's have a millionaire shortbread and a big Christmas drink. Oh, why don't we call it Chippy, it's Saturday night. Before I know it, I have totally ruined everything I want to achieve. And to be honest with you, the Baileys, the Costa millionaire shortbread, the chip shop, it's not worth it. Not for me. I mean, I don't mind what anybody else does, that's choice, isn't it? But it's really not worth it, because the morning after I would just be lying in bed thinking, why did I do that? I'd have absolutely no joy left in my life. And then the chances are, I'd think to myself, oh, only 2 or 3 days to Christmas, what the hell, I've blown it out the water now. And you know what? I've been doing Slimming World for so many years, and I've done that for so many years, that I know what it feels like afterwards, and there's no joy in it. So this year I want to do what I want to do. I'm not going to play people pleasing with my mum, because my mum says, oh, go on, don't be stupid, one won't hurt you. And then another one, and then another one. And I would do that usually to please my mum. My mum's 92. Who wants to upset a 92-year-old? But she's not going to love me anymore if I take it. And the crazy thing is, for the whole of my life, since I was a child, young teen, when my weight problems probably started at the age of 15 when I lost my sight. All of my life, my mum, God bless the woman, has been the one who's told me, you're too fat, you should do something about it. Why have you put weight on? What's wrong with you? Why do you have to eat like that? Why are you so greedy? My mum loves me, I'm sure she does, in her own way. But she's very verbal at criticising me. I know she'll never watch this, it's not going to hurt her. And my family don't watch my vlogs, I don't think. I don't care, really. This is me, take me as I am. But all of my life, my mum, I went to see my mum a few months ago, and the first thing I heard when I walked through the door was, and if you can't hear me, I'm tutting. And I knew that tut, 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 tut meant, good Lord, you've put some weight on since I last saw you. Because I've had that tut, 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 tut for probably 55 years of my life. Since I was in my teens. I don't want it anymore. But today, I'm not reacting to it. Today, I can just let it go. And I know that when I walk in on Saturday, she's going to think, I've lost weight. But I can tell you something, I'd bet you £100 she wouldn't say, oh, you've lost some weight. It never works that way round. I got to 8 stone 8 on Slimming World, I swear she never noticed. Well, if she did, she never said much about it. So I think whatever age you are, and I'm 68 for God's sake, my mum's 92, and if we can't just live our own lives at this age, when can we? I started this journey at the age of 50, seriously taking the weight loss thing, because I had finally achieved the dizzy heights of 22 stone. A lot of this, I think, fueled by pure greed. I'd had counselling over many years to do with losing my sight, to do with my emotional eating. I'd had hundreds, if not thousands of pounds worth of counselling over the years. None of it fixed me, because basically underlying all those issues was the fact that I am naturally a very greedy person. I love food, I'm a foodie, but I love plenty of it. I don't want a few salad leaves and a bit of chicken on a plate. I want a big, solid, hearty plate full of food, whatever time of year it is. You won't catch me eating salad, not even in the summer. It's not me. I like quantity. I like quality as well of food, but I like quantity. And the beauty of Slimming World for me, when I joined in 2015, but let me explain. I started my weight loss journey at 2010, for those who don't know me. I was 22 stone. I joined Slimming World in May 2015, and I was probably, I can't remember, 15 stone. I'd lost about 7 stone on my own, maybe a bit more. But when I joined Slimming World in 2015 and I joined Naomi's group, I never looked back because I changed my attitude. I wasn't thinking, I always did this, now I've got to choose to do that. I thought, Slimming World says, do this. Slimming World says you've got boundaries, you've got safety, you've got an ability to eat plenty of food if that's what you need to do, which is what I need to do. So, it worked for me because it wasn't about starvation, it wasn't about deprivation, it was about fill your boots, basically. So in the period that I was with Naomi, between 2015 and maybe 2021, 22, because of COVID, I actually had a weight loss totaling about 13 and a half stone, because I started at 22 stone, and I think with Naomi, the lowest weight I ever was 8 stone 8. Now, that felt great. I had energy that you couldn't have quantified. I just had so much energy I didn't know what to do with myself, really. I even got carried away and did housework and stuff that I hate. But then with the COVID and everything else and bereavements and different things, my emotional eating came back, or should I say I let it back in, because for me it's choice. Nobody ever has forced me to eat anything. My mum's tried over the years, like I was 10 years a vegetarian and she still insisted on putting meat on my plate just in case I fancied it. But it's all about choice for me. Nobody can force me to eat. Nobody can make me eat anything I don't want to eat. But I will say, at the age of 68, I have an amazing amount of freedom, because I'm in a position where only I have the right to decide what I eat. I cook for myself. My shopping is my choice. And it's amazing. It's freedom, because I don't have to cook for a family. I don't have to shop for a family. I don't have to have stuff in the house that I don't want to eat. Joe has a right to do his own shopping. He eats differently to me because he's a gym, I don't say, what's the gym rat, gym bunny, whatever. He's very much into health and exercise, and his food choices are very different to mine. I don't eat any of the food he eats, and he doesn't eat any of the food I eat. So I can't make excuses, I've got to have this in the house. But I will say, now I've lost 33 pounds, I feel 10 years younger, so much stronger, so much more energetic, and we're walking again, which is something we've always done. We love to walk. But now I can walk, I'm back up to being able to walk, what, 8 miles, Joe? 9 miles?
Yeah.
Because the other day we walked into town and I needed some stuff in Marks, and we went to House of Fraser and different things, Tesco and stuff like that, which is the opposite end of Nottingham City to where we live. And then I said to Joe, let's walk back to the station, have a coffee, and then we'll get either the bus or the tram home. So I had a single espresso, he had a double espresso. Then we got up and he starts walking towards the tram station. And I went, where are you going? He said, get the tram home. I said, no, I'm going to walk home. And we walked home. And in total, that walk was just over 9 miles. And do you know what? When I got home, I could have done it again after I'd eaten my lunch. But I love it. I love that I can do that. I mean, I'm going to get my hair cut later this morning. We might get the bus into town because of time constraints, but we're certainly walking back, you know? And that, you know, when I was back up to 15 stone 10, I honestly, I've said it on a previous video, I struggled to walk the 8 yards to the car, out the back door and down the drive to the car, and I was knackered. Even getting in and out of the car was getting to be a pain. And when I look at what I do to myself out of choice, because nobody makes me, you know? Now, I feel like when I'm sitting in the car, do you know what? I feel a normal size again. Stuff like that. And I'll tell you the biggest thing I've found, and I don't know, I mean, I'm blind, I can't see people's facial reactions, but the biggest thing I've found about weight loss is when you lose weight, when you are more of an average size, shall we say, people treat you differently. Now maybe I'm more sensitive to this because I can't see their body language, but people treat you differently. When I go into shops and that, people are starting to talk to me again instead of Joe. Because I think when they see me as, I'm only 5'2", so I don't carry a lot of weight really well, it shows. But when they see me as a blind person who's bigger, I reckon they see me as a blind person who must be stupid. I know this could be offensive to somebody, but it's the truth in my life. They treat me so differently. And I can't be responsible for how other people react or how other people treat me. But I do know. It's maybe because when I'm bigger, I stand there with a face like a smacked arse and I look miserable. So they react differently to me. But I'm noticing now it's changing back. You know, when I was around the sort of average of 9 stone, people treated me really nicely. Now, I may be judging people badly, but that's my experience and I have to share it, or I want to share it. So this year I'm going for JOMO, the joy of missing out, so that when I get beyond Christmas, I can look back with a big smile on my face and I can feel joy and I can think I made the right choices. Because stuffing my face with Christmas fare, whether it's cheap chocolates, whether it's Baileys, whether it's whiskey and orange, that's my drink of choice, whether it's gateaus, whether it's crisps, whether it's nuts, whether it's any of that stuff that people feel obliged to have in at Christmas, stuffing my face with all of that lot is guaranteed to make me miserable. And that ain't what Christmas is about. Christmas is not about being miserable. I've done it before, I've been there before. I've also, while I've been around Slimming World and Target and stuff, had some blinking good Christmases because I haven't chosen to overindulge. And I remember vividly one Christmas, must be 4 or 5 years ago, having a huge Christmas dinner and then Joe saying, let's go out for a walk. Got to the end of our cul-de-sac, turned around and came back because I said to Joe, I can't do it. I am so full of food, I just cannot go for a walk. That doesn't bring me joy. What brings me joy today is being able to lace up my trainers or whatever and get out there and feel the wind and feel the weather, and just lovely because we've got some nice walks around Nottingham. We've got some good parks that we've found. We've got lakes that we can walk around. We've got country park. We've got 2 big country parks. None of them that far away from where we live. And I was missing out on all of that. So the joy of missing out is something so much better than the fear of missing out. I don't want to fear things today because fear can lead to emotional eating. And for me, that just brings back the greed. I'm not going backwards, I'm going forwards. What was it Albert Einstein said? Keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always got. Well, I'm doing different now. I'm going back to the way I was when I was living 100% of my life as a Slimming Worlder. And I don't care if people think I'm extreme. I'm doing Slimming World. If I was a number one, if I was a type 1 diabetic, I couldn't choose to have Christmas off, and respect to anybody who is a type 1 diabetic, because you'll know how to manage your Christmas in the way that works for you. But I'm not a type 1 diabetic. I'm a greedy, compulsive overeater who has a tendency to fall face first into food. I can choose not to do that. I can choose not to, and that's what I choose today. I'm 33 pounds down in 30 weeks. I was a bit worried about group yesterday because I had a gain at 10 weeks, I had a gain at 20 weeks. I thought, oh my God, this could be history repeating itself and I'll have a gain at 30 weeks. But I didn't. I lost £0.5 pound. And that £0.5 makes a world of difference. Because, you know, drip, drip, drip fills a bucket. I'm a tortoise, not a hare. I've been saying that for the last almost 10 years of my vlogs. I'm happy to be a tortoise. Hares dash from place to place. I don't know if you've ever seen one out in the country. They don't even run, they just dash from here to there. That's what I did on crap dieting. It's not what I do on Slimming World. It's the tortoise that wins the race on Slimming World. The hare will dash from one crap diet to another. Beyond Slimming World, then thinking I can do better on Cambridge. Did that myself, didn't work. I'm probably one of the only people who gained weight on Cambridge. Did it for a month and gained 7 pounds. Too much sugar for me. You know your own body. Go with what you need to do. Don't please anybody else, please yourself. Don't overeat if you don't want to and then have to lounge on the settee while the king makes his speech. You do you. I'll do me. And we'll come out of it after Christmas with, what is it that song says? Is it Somebody Lake who sings, the Christmas we get we deserve? Well, I am determined to come out the other end feeling JOMO. Cheers everybody, have a good week, and our video next week won't be up on Christmas Day. We're going back to vlogging on a Saturday, so it'll be up on the Saturday morning. Merry Christmas.